Hello and welcome back. It's Jim Durbin, the social media headhunter. I'm in my new digs. I've been up in my media room. Unfortunately, it has reflective paint, so I moved down to my wife's office, which has wood paneling or fake wood paneling. I don't really know the difference. I don't know if fake wood paneling's not real paneling or if it's wood or if it's a layer. But it has a plant down here. It has sunlight, so I thought that would be more fun for us. I just wanted to get back in the habit of doing video blogs. I haven't been doing them for a while. In fact, I have been blogging for a while. I was going through and looking at some statistics I'd made of how many blog posts I've written in the last 10 years. It's been over 10 years since I first started. I've written over 8,000 blog posts in that time. That's right, 8,000 blog posts over the course of about probably 30 different blogs. The sad part is in the last year or so, I haven't done much writing. This has been a number of subjects, from marketing to recruiting to social media to politics to, whatever passed my mind from that day. We did an advertising blog for a while. We did a mom blog for a while. But I just noticed something was missing because I used to get up in the morning and I'd write. I'd do my reading on an RSS feed. I'd do my writing, and it really got my day started. It actually made writing very easy. And for me, I think often through my writing. And so what I wanted to try to begin to do was to get back into that. Because what's happened is in the last few years, I've been very busy. I've done a lot of great work. I've been paid well. I like that as a consulting standpoint. But I kind of feel like I've been stagnating. So I started reading books, which is a big part of it. I find that when I read books, not online, when I read books, I write better. And when I write better, I think better. When I think better, all of a sudden people want to hire me. And so I had some free time as I work on a number of different projects, and I thought to myself, what would be great would get back into the rhythm of blogging. I dropped off a bunch of properties. I don't have jobs in social media anymore. I still have STL recruiting, brand storming, and social media headhunter. And so I've committed myself to writing on these on a regular basis, as well as doing regular video blogs about recruiting, about social media, about marketing. It's just your life works better. People say, why do you use social media? It's a question. Why are you even involved in it? And it's funny because I've been hearing these questions for so long. You've been doing it for 10 years. They've been telling us it's dead the whole time. They've been telling us it's not important. They say, how do you have time? Now, of course, everyone's into it. And I think what it comes down to is this. Social media is, of course, as I've said before, a preference layer that you put on top of other things. I've got a story about hamsters. You should read it at socialmediaheadhunter.com. But it's more than that. Because social media is a medium that you can use to get your story out. It's something you can use to read to make yourself better. In general, it's just people sharing information. Forget what companies are doing. Social's friends, media's information. Social media is friends sharing information. And that's separate from what's going on in the business world. So social media becomes a channel that you can react to. It becomes a preference layer on top of other functions of the corporate business. But ultimately, it's about people sharing information. What was great for me is not that social media has made me more effective as a marketer, because the truth is, probably 80% of what I do is more traditional marketing and recruiting. And social media is just a spice I throw in there. I don't do flat social media projects, because I have to tie them into brochures and videos and events and email marketings and plan campaigns and creative. There's so much more that goes into it. The social media really is just something at the end, unless you're dealing specifically with a channel like Twitter for customer service. But even then, you're still dealing with all the principles of customer service, from how to hire, how to keep people, how to train them, how to enter stuff in the system. Social media has always been a small portion of that, a great magnifier, don't get me wrong. But the point being is that for me, social media was always a way to learn. And when I write, you have to really apply what you know to the world. And because things move so fast, writing it down gives you a sense of perspective. Gives you the confidence to say, this is how it was 3 years ago, this is how it is today, this is how it might be in the future. And if you've written that down, you can go back in 2 years and find out what it is that you wrote. So for me, I always found that blogging itself, and to an extension of this, video blogging, was a way for me, one, to track what my hair was doing. I'm always going to make those jokes. You should just know it's just something that's going to happen as long as I have hair. It's a way to track what you're saying at the time, and really center yourself. because it becomes hard to remember. I mean, how many people remember what life was like before iPhones? It becomes increasingly difficult. I've got 2 kids. It's almost impossible to remember how I worked before kids or to plan for how I'm going to work once they're out doing things. So for me, blogging is a way to center myself and to really get my thoughts down. Because once they're down, it's not about delivering content to you guys. It really isn't. It's about marking my life. It really is what it was originally, instant publishing, self-publishing as a diary. And ultimately, I found if you write what you care about, the people who are watching will find out people that care about what you care about will contact you. I think there's probably a better way of saying that, but think of it this way. I literally, for years and years, would have 100,000 people a year at least read me, which may not be big for someone running for real newspapers, but considering it was unpaid and my job as a recruiter and a small business owner, that was pretty substantial. And that powered my life in a lot of ways. It allowed me to do things I couldn't do before. Honestly, it is. It's a lot of people. And what was funny is I started video blogging 2 years ago, and I'd get 10, 25 views. I think the most I got was 130. But I'd get phone calls from those. People would watch the video, and they felt connected. And I miss that. I want to get back to that because I really feel like practicing video. I'm shooting videos now. I'm doing a web series I'll tell you about later, but I really feel like getting in front of the camera and talking to people is the best way to communicate to them. So I'll make this pledge to you. I'm going to do more to share my thoughts so that I know more. And all that I ask of you is that if you have questions or you want to talk to me sometime, you send me a note. I'm making myself available every morning to write, to blog, and to talk to people. So I'm back. And I just fulfilled the worst cliche of social media, promising I will be. But I will. I promise to write. For me.